A girl addicted to gaming went to great lengths to help her brother, Jack, turn his life around. She even created a fake diploma from a top university for him. She thought this would be the ticket to getting him hired as a tutor in a wealthy family. What she didn't expect was that the lady of the house wanted to sit in on a class to test his abilities. Without hesitation, Jack agreed. But as the lesson went on, he unexpectedly grabbed the girl's wrist and calmly told her, "The college entrance exam isn't just about knowledge, it's about your mindset too. Your pulse is so irregular, how do you expect to handle the pressure of the exam?" His words, tinged with a bit of mysticism, instantly won the girl's heart. The lady of the house was thoroughly impressed. Not only was he tutoring her daughter, but he was also helping her manage her emotions. So, she immediately handed him a large stack of cash and hired him as her daughter's private tutor. However, she had no idea this decision would turn her world upside down. Out of admiration for Jack, the lady began discussing her children's education with him. She told him her youngest son loved drawing but was very unruly. He had gone through over a dozen art teachers, all of whom had been driven away by his behavior. Jack, listening intently, came up with a plan. Casually, he mentioned he knew a friend who had just returned from abroad, a graduate from an art academy and someone especially skilled at discovering children's artistic talents. Upon hearing this, the lady's eyes lit up. She eagerly asked Jack to arrange for an introduction. What she didn't realize was that Jack's so-called highly talented friend was actually his own sister, Marie, who spent all her time gaming at home. On the day of the interview, Marie, wanting to look like a high-level international graduate, dressed in a suit and made a strong entrance, telling the lady she preferred not to have parents in the room while teaching. The lady, not wanting to argue, sat in the living room to wait. But what happened next blew her mind. In just a few seconds, the formerly mischievous little boy was sitting quietly in his seat, listening intently to the lesson. At the end of the class, he even politely bowed to the teacher before leaving. The lady was stunned, but what really shocked her was what Marie said next. "Has your son been traumatized in some way when he was 6? The lady was taken aback. Her son had once claimed to have encountered a ghost, something they had never taken seriously at the time. But after that, he developed a psychological issue. She had never told anyone about it. So how did Marie know? In reality, Marie had no special powers. She had simply learned psychological therapy techniques online and, through her interaction with the boy, was able to deduce his psychological issues. The lady was completely taken in by the process, even allowing Marie to set her own salary.